This is What's in It for Me, helping the entire world secure basic needs so you can concentrate on your financial growth, helping you find what options are available, and helping provide free resources. Your host holds degrees in business, political science, and sociology, and he's an expert in socialization and stratification. This is What's in It for Me, and this is your host, Dr. Kenneth Pierce.
Welcome back, and thank you for all of you who have come and joined us, who are following us either on YouTube or on our podcast platform. We are happy to contribute both to the world of Saitama and to the education of people who are interested in joining the crypto space and maybe don't quite understand some aspect or another. So we're happy to be that source and provide some information. Now, with everything that we see going on, everything that's happened in the space, especially recently, we want to talk to you today about the science behind why you're either diamond hands or paper hands. And I have with me again today, Doreen D.
Hey, I think this is a good topic for today. People are trying to decide if they are holding on for dear life or running away and afraid of what the charts say.
Yep.
It's been about 100 years now. Sociology is still a fairly new science, but it was about 100 years ago when Max Weber, one of the founding fathers of sociology, insisted that in order to really understand society, not only you have to look at the structure of society, but you really have to dig into human behaviors. What are they doing and what's happening within that society to truly understand what's going on?
Yeah, and more than just observing the human behaviors, our study has to be kind of empathetic or understanding to the motivations that drive people's choices.
Yeah, that's super important first, because different societies obviously are going to encourage or discourage certain motivations. Like, we value different things in different cultures or time periods, right?
Sure.
So, this empathetic understanding is also important because we have to know not just what they're doing, but the meaning that people are attaching to their actions. In any simple interaction, if I give you a thumbs up, there's a variation of that meaning that I might assign to this, even, whether giving hand gestures are appropriate one way or the other. So it matters the message that I mean to send when I do this. So what is it that I intend to, how do I intend to affect others with my action?
And on the other side of that is, silence. So if you're being silent or you're not kind of making any action in a particular moment, does that mean that you're indifferent? Does that mean that you're in support? Like, how do you interpret non-action?
Yeah, it's the whole spectrum. Big action, small action, no action. It really just boils down to the meaning that someone assigns to it. Weber says that even with all this variation in human behavior, though, there's we can't even list all of these behaviors. There's still 4 ideal or general types of those kinds of social actions that people do with meaning behind it, meaning to affect something or someone around them. So I thought it was a good idea if we would use these 4 types of social actions as a framework to help us examine diamond hands and paper hand behavior.
Sure. So the first of which Weber gives us is what's called purposeful or goal-oriented rational action. And these are scenarios in which the goal and the means are purposefully chosen. So, for example, in the crypto space, if you wanted to get rich, you may decide that the best way to get rich is to invest in a cryptocurrency whereby you may get 1,000x return on your investment. And in this case, the goal, which is getting rich, and the means, which is that particular cryptocurrency investment, they're purposeful, goal-oriented, rational. You've made some assessment that led you to believe that was the best choice for you.
Okay, so let's remember that these are still general ideal types. Which one do you think this behavior would be, paper hands or diamond hands?
Well, this person would be likely to have diamond hands. And the reason why is that because they're well-researched and they're committed to the project and they feel confident that the project is going to get them to their desired outcome.
So they'll stick to it.
They'll stick to it because they've done the work up front.
All right, what's the next one?
Second point is rational action, which may be value-oriented, meaning this person is striving for a substantive goal that may or may not be rational, but is pursued with rational means. So sticking with the crypto example, if you're deciding that you want to end homelessness between now and New Year's Eve 2021, so this is your goal.
Not rational.
Not rational. But what you decide to do to accomplish this is you're going to invest your entire salary in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, right now, with the hope that you can earn trillions of dollars in the coming months. So you have a plan, you have a goal, and you're moving forward. Well, in this case, the goal, meaning ending homelessness this year, is something that you may have pursued based on your values. And you may have done that in a logical, rational way, meaning that you thought it out, but you have little chance of success just because of how big the goal is and that your massive action is not massive enough to match that. So,
but people, their values are important to them. So is that paper or is that diamond?
Well, the idea is that, someone, because of their values, they may seek to do something impossible that they believe in, but this person is still likely to have paper hands. And the reason why they're likely to have paper hands is because even though the project, the goal rather is something they believe in, the project is not likely to get them there. So they're going to jump from project to project to try to get this $1 trillion so they can end homelessness by the end of this year.
And sticking to those values, it's going to justify those jumps because that's going to be the thing they're following.
Correct.
I understand that. What's the third one?
Third one, people may act from emotional or affective motivations. That means they'll be anchored in the emotional state rather than a rational weighing of means and ends. So sticking again with crypto, if you have the goal of becoming a millionaire as soon as possible, and you make a choice to invest, say, $10K into the most notable cryptocurrency that you can find, right? But that asset currently has a market cap of, let's say, $970 billion. Not going to name a name.
No names.
No names. And so, but this notable cryptocurrency with a $970 billion market cap, you're hoping to get a 10x by New Year's Eve 2021. And you're quite sure it's going to happen for you, despite what the analytics say. And therefore, because you're convinced when someone challenges you on your beliefs and they present you with all the evidence or what have you, you call them non-believers, they're fudders, they lack faith, they're negative, or they're not as smart as you. So in this case, if you think about it, if you change the means, in other words, if you found a different project, that may be something that'll help get you there. Or if you changed the goal, the end goal, that may get you there. But this particular process is not likely to get you where you're going.
I'm really stumped on this one. So are you, you're sort of lost in this emotion and you fighting off people who are non-believers, but you still, I don't know, I'm stumped with this one. Is this paper or diamond?
Correct. So this person is likely to either be diamond hands or paper hands, depending on the project. But here's the thing. The project could be great or could be terrible, and it could get them to their goal or not. And neither of those factors will have anything to do with whether or not they diamond hands or paper hands. Their decision is going to be made emotionally, whether they get to their goal or not, whether the project is, has scam written all over it or not. They're likely to stick to their guns and not budge from their position, regardless of the evidence that they're faced with.
So the justification is for either one of those things that they do, because they're not thinking wide or analytically at all anyway.
Correct.
That one stumped me. What's the fourth one?
Well,
Let's just move away.
The last one is that people may engage in traditional action, which is action guided by customary habits of thought. First of all, this person is maybe not likely to get into cryptocurrency in the first place because some of these antiquated thoughts suggest that the only way to make money or to make a worthwhile investment is to do so, for instance, in the stock market. But if this person does get into crypto, maybe they're not getting into altcoins. They may not be willing to take risks, so they're more risk adverse. And so,
I know a lot of these, so I feel like I can guess this one, but the last one stumped me. I'm not too sure about.
What do you think?
If they weren't going to be there anyway, then I would guess that they would maybe stick to their guns and be diamond hands just out of fear, maybe.
Yeah, diamond hands for sure. I wouldn't necessarily say fear. In fact, I see it potentially as a position of strength because this person isn't making an emotional decision. They're invested in a philosophy. So they're saying they recognize the rules of investment. If they're going to get in, they know they can't, get in today and get out tomorrow and kind of go every way the wind blows. So they're committed 5 years, 7 years at a time, 10 years at a time, based on their general investment philosophy.
Okay, so if they trust their original decision, they're sticking to it, and there's not very much that could sway them.
Correct.
I understand that. Okay, so we've been through all four. Let's sort of review these in such a way that tell me what are we likely to see for someone with diamond hands? A person with diamond hands is what?
Well, one, they trust the coin or the project, and they believe that it's going to deliver the desired outcome that they're looking for. They're emotionally connected to a specific project, and they're going to support it regardless of outcome. And if, again, I'm not going to name names, but if you're listening to this and you could think about projects that are trending now, you could think about scenarios where you've seen evidence of this, where there's been months of maybe some dormancy, and then we're seeing some projects come back to life. Lastly, I'm going to say that they're following an investment strategy, and they're not emotionally committed to the project, but instead they trust the process, and they're willing to, for instance, in our case, they're willing to let Russ cook.
Hashtag let Russ cook.
Yep.
So when will people reveal their paper hands then?
Well, I guess to put a bow on that part, a person is more likely to be paper hands when they're interested in getting to a particular goal, but they don't care how they get there. Maybe they don't understand the pathway, or they're just hoping they get there. So, it doesn't matter whether this project or that project gets them there. They're going to go with whatever's hot at the moment. This person is also the person in sports who doesn't have a team. They just like whatever team is winning that year. That's that same mentality, right? They follow their feelings wherever they may lead them. So, throwing research to the wind, they're going to operate without regard for the likely consequence of their investment choices, and wherever they're going to do whatever they feel that day when they get up.
You know what? And that's kind of the weirdness even about the, Weber would say that no person is any one of these four only.
Yeah.
And that's really weird about the, kind of the problem with this dichotomy, because even people who are diamond hands have some, strategy that says when it gets to this point, this is what I'm going to do. And we wouldn't necessarily call them paper hands all of a sudden, but they've got goals and they're sort of sticking to it. So tell us what you think about the science behind this. Leave us a comment below. In the meantime, thank you for sharing part of your day with us. And please, please, please do like, subscribe, and share our content. And we'll be back with you in the next 24 or 48 hours.
You've been listening to What's in It for Me. In order to concentrate on your financial growth, first you need the basics: food, water, warmth, rest, safety, security. And with Dr. Kenneth Pierce's help, you're on your way. We truly hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. The show will be back soon. But in the meantime, visit the website at epicnonprofit.org. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.